Hi again, this is Jouni Juurela from Floorball Made Simple and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is my second video and this time you can see my talking little head in the upper corner and so you can look at my face and see what kind of guy here is talking about things. But about today's topic, I am about to rate the top 10 leagues in the world in floorball at the moment. And this rating or sort of ranking list, this is for sure not the only truth. And this is a sort of a discussable topic, and many people have their own opinions, but I attempt to make as objective assessment as I can. As a slight disclaimer, any second highest levels are not included to the list, which means that everybody knows the top four at the floorball at this moment is Sweden, Czech Republic, Finland, and Switzerland. So none of the second highest levels are included to this list. For example, Finnish first division, or should I say, the engineer division in Sidivari, which is the new name for that level. But none of the second highest levels are not included to this list. So, how did I determine that which league goes above one? And there are few of these matters that I thought about and was taking into account when making these rankings. So, how much does the league attract talent uh, regarding players or coaches to that level? How many grade level teams there are inside this league? Because in some leagues you have couple of really good teams that can play a really modern, mobile team play that has lots of movement, and they have lots of star power within those couple of teams in the league. But then the level drops, and that is one big thing to assess when you're considering that which league is the best in the world. Then the IFF ranking of that country. How high is the country ranked in the IFF ranking, and how do they bear in those international campaigns? Then, how many of the top players in the nation stay within their own home country's league? Because that also has a huge impact on how good the league will be. Does the talent leak out to other nations, or are they able to keep them? Is the team play up to the modern high level standards of the team play within as many clubs as possible inside the league? And by this I mean that when you are looking at the teams in the league, do they play modern, mobile, attacking play, modern defensive play, or are they sort of stuck through a time machine into the 90s by the tactical standpoint? And then the technical abilities of the individuals that do the every touch that the players take, do they create something? Does that look smooth? Does that create any threat, or is it bugging up a little bit when a person is taking the first touch? Does it look like that the situation is a little stuck and a bit stiff, and you know what I mean? Does it look that the game flows naturally when a person is getting the first touch or receiving a pass? And then is there individual skill to do your own magic, create something, some sort of threat out of nothing, out of situations that did not look that dangerous? So let's go ahead. And what did I look at the teams and individuals? A little more info on that as I well, I almost explained every matter of those, but let's repeat some of those. How often the team loses the ball in unforced situations. That is a big factor that I was looking at because when you go watch the highest levels of those top nations on floorball, the players are just that good. They don't lose the ball that often in unforced situations where the player is not being pressured. So they have this technical ability. It's sort of natural to them. The ball just does not, fall from the blade when they're moving. It just stays there, and it looks natural. It's like the ball is, part of the body, and the stick is part of the body. Can the players convert unthreatening situations into threatening ones? That is the one that I mentioned from the previous slide, but are the players able to create something out of nothing in the field? And for how long times can the team control the ball, and can they convert controlling the ball into threatening situations? Because in some leagues, some teams are able to, yes, hold the ball and control the possession of the ball, but they are only circulating it around the flanks, around the outer edges of the field. In the better ones, the better leagues, the players are able to break within, to cut within the formation and go away from the outer flanks. And when you go lower to the listing or this ranking that I have here, that level of breaking in within the formation that declines as we go along. So without further ado, the first team in the listing, I I am a little bit, saddened to just admit this, but it is SSL. SSL, Svensk Super League from Sweden. That is at the moment the highest place, the Mount Rushmore, where you can play floorball at the moment. The reasoning why they are better than some of the leagues I would more prefer to be on the top levels. Uh, the best players, they tend to go there. They are able to hold their best coaches within the country. Not that many coaches are taking their trips and adventures, for example, to Czech Republic or to Finland or anything like that, but they are able to hold the best talent when it comes to coaching. And they are also able to acquire the best coaches from other nations as well. As many of you know, the legendary player Mika Kohonen is coaching at Sturetta, and Juri Korsman, who previously was coaching in Switzerland, he went to go coach to Växjö Vipers in SSL. They also have plenty of the top talent in the player and individuals side also. They are able to grasp the best players from Czech Republic, for example. In some years, the best players from Switzerland, some players from Finland. Yeah, but they are very, very well able to hold on to their own talent. And of course, this is the most, competitive league, and the level of these individuals is widest, and the level of the teams and the tactical modern style of playing is the widest in the whole world. And you can see that every single team in the league is able to play very, very mobile and modern game. So really, the comparing of different leagues, this is the best league to compare them to. This is the Mount Rushmore of floorball at the moment. Then at the second place is our beautiful, beautiful F League, F Liga from Finland. The most of the best Finnish players do play in the F League. Although a minor leakage has begun that the best players from Finland are starting to go to play to Switzerland. For example, Sami Johansson from Classic left for this season to play in Zug United. Then Mikko Kailiala from TPS went to play to Zug United, and also many good examples as well. In addition to those, but some players are starting to leave F League, and the league is becoming a little younger than it used to be from the perspective of the medium age of the players playing there. Top six teams, to my assessment, could play in SSL, and top six teams are able to provide this sort of pro athlete life in somewhat levels for their players. So being able to live your life as a full-time player on floorball, that is not exactly the reality in every single team in the F League, but in top six teams, it is becoming somewhat realistic to be able to grasp onto that dream. Roughly put, the top eight teams can play an organized team play. So, which I mean by this is that the top eight teams, they are comparable from their level to SSL teams, from perspective of how modern, how mobile, and how threatening the game is. So that is, I'm not saying that the teams that go outside the top eight, that they don't have any organized or modern team play. No, this is for sure a really good league where you can play floorball. But when you're comparing to the absolute top of the world, to SSL teams, then I say top eight can cut it. So in the third place in our listing is the I'm not sure how to say this. The name of this league. This used to be NLA, men's NLA. Now it is LUPL Switzerland, so which means something little Unihockey Prime League men. Yeah, that's probably how to say it. But in the highest level of Switzerland, so sorry everybody from watching this video from the Czech Republic. This was a close call, a really close call. That which of you guys were in the third place? Was it Czech Republic or is it Switzerland? But from my assessment, it comes down to this: the Swiss league is able to acquire more talent from abroad. So they are able to acquire really good players from Finland, from Sweden, and this creates the difference right there. Like I said earlier, they have been able to acquire many of the best players from Finland, but also from Sweden as well. Albin Sjögren and many other Swedish top players. For example, Robin Nilsberg, Kim Nilsson used to play there. So they have this purchasing power of getting the top talent to play there, and this creates the difference as they are able to lure the best players from Sweden and Finland to play with them. And the Czech Republic team, unfortunately, not yet at the exactly same level, but they are getting there. They are getting there. They have started to acquire Finnish players to Czech Republic just this spring, so I think it will be better in the future. So let's go to the Czech Republic. So personally, this is this is something that I hope to get better in the future because they are doing a tremendous job on the international scale. And this is only my opinion, but I think it is inevitable that they will one day win the gold medal and be the best in the world for a while. But it doesn't show in their national level yet. I think so because the league is just not yet, the purchasing power, the abilities to acquire the best coaches, to acquire the best players from every other nation. That is just not there yet. But I think if you get a time machine and go 2 years, 3 years forward from now, I think that then they will have plenty of foreign talent as well, and then they will be. I think that they are really, really close to be even in the level of F League. When we go 2, 3 years towards the future from this moment, I think that these guys, even in the national level, they have caught up to the Finns because the style how these teams play in Czech Republic, it's really mobile. It's so interesting to watch how those teams play their team play because they are seeking to score. It is very brave, um, lots of movement, lots of threat, lots of individual skill, and these players they are able to create threat and danger out of nothing. So if you are a sports fan and you want to see some very good individual performances and very good mobile team play, this league is something that you should watch. I really highly recommend on that. And also, if you are a player and you would like to, be able to perform better in the future and improve yourself, to develop yourself, I think that this league you should be heading or you should be heading into this direction and play with them. So hopefully, some of you players watching this video will head there as well. And yeah, now we head to the more controversial part because the top four at the moment in floorball it's a bit fixed, right? But now this is the more interesting part of the video, and this will create some controversy. You can be uh, disagreeing with me, and that's fine. That's fine. I hope that you disagree, and if you disagree, I hope that you will comment your arguments to the comment section down below. But my assessment, and regarding my assessment, the extra league of Slovakia takes the number 5 spot in this ranking of different leagues on floorball. The reason why it takes that, uh, the IFF ranking says that they are on the 5th place on the men's side at the moment. And that means that they have done something right. If they have been able to get to the top 5 position on international floorball, they are doing something very well. Their best players are not even being spread that widely across the whole Europe. They are not going away from their own home country, so they are staying. Most of the talent is staying in the Slovakian Extraliga, and it means that if you have a IFF ranking 5 caliber of a country, and you get almost every best talent in your league, the league cannot be bad, right? So they have plenty of talent in there, and as they have plenty of talent there, their teams are able to play really modern, really aggressive, and brave tactical team play. So this was a I was watching many of their games from that Liga, and I was assessing many of their teams playing, and I have to say that this is really, really interesting league, and it is a very good entertainment to look at these games. I highly suggest that many of you watch the games from this league, and these games can be seen from YouTube. You can find plenty of games from Slovakian Extra League. And to promote a little bit about the league, I am mentioning for every league that comes from this point forward from Slovakian Extraliga from the fifth place till the last 10th place of the listing, and I'm going to tell what the situation in the league table looks like. After the regular season in Slovakia, to the first place ended a club called Zilina. The second place went to Florko Kosice, and the third place went to Lido Bratislava. So that's the league situation in the country at the moment, and I would say that many of these teams would bear against Finnish F League, the bottom teams in the league table, and for sure these would beat Finnish first division teams. So really good league. Moving along to the sixth position in the ranking, I say Eliteserien from Norway. That ends up to the sixth position. Somebody might disagree with me. I'm fine with that. But the reason why this ended up to the sixth place is that most of the Norwegian players stay in their home country. Some of them go to play to Sweden, but that's about it. Not many of the best talents from Norway are leaving the country. And this is a sort of the more complex leagues because, as I mentioned before, in some leagues and in some countries, the top of the league is really, really solid, and then the level drops in some somewhat high differences. I think that this is the first league where that starts to happen more because the club that is leading the league at the moment, Tunet, I say that that would actually play really well in Finland. That is a really, really good club that has plenty of talent, plenty of teamwork, that lives up to the modern standards, and they are doing some very modern stuff, and they have lots of skill to perform those. So they would be probably in Finnish F Liga. I'm just thinking out loud, but I would say they would be on 10th, ninth position. For certain, they would beat every Finnish first division club for sure. But after those couple of top clubs, which are, by the way, at the moment, Tunet is leading in the second place, Krioker, and in the third place, Slevik. After those clubs, the level starts to decline in a quite rapid space of time, and it's quite hard to say that which clubs from the bottom could play in first division in Finland. Really hard to say, um, but still, this league Eliteserien Norway, this is on the sixth place because although while the level drops a bit, they still have enough talent that there is quite a little amount of unforced errors, and the technical base is solid. This is a traditional floorball country. Moving along, in the seventh place is Bundesliga from Germany. And to be honest, not a single team would make it in Finnish F League. The top three, though, could play in Finnish first division, and I think that they would play quite well in the Finnish first division. Only the top tier players leave their country, and this attracts Scandinavian players outside the main divisions. Well, by this I mean that I have not heard of many Finnish first division level players or players that are stars in first division that they would go to play in Bundesliga, but play maybe playing in a smaller role or in Suomi-sarja in second division. Those kind of talents go to play in Bundesliga quite much. Uh, so there is not much players uh, from Germany playing in the top leagues, in the top four leagues, and more of these unforced errors start to occur in this league. To be honest, uh, the best teams are able to play mobile, very threatening, very brave floorball, and especially the top lineups from each of those top clubs. But then the level little bit declines after it. I hope all the best to German Bundesliga, and I hope that they are starting to attract even better players and coaches in the future. There are, by the way, there have been many Finnish coaches coaching in Bundesliga previously, and I highly suggest that if some coach, wherever you are watching this video, if you are a little bit of an adventurous soul and you would like to spend more time in floorball Bundesliga, go coach there. That will be a good experience and a stepping stone for you or your career. And then in the eighth position, the NAFL from USA. Uh, some of you might be thinking that why I'm mentioning this league, but it deserves a place in this listing. Nuffle, you guys are borrowing players from other leagues. If I would be totally honest, when you're looking at the rosters of the teams that have been playing in Nuffle, those are really good. You know, there are plenty of Swedish Superliga, Allsvenskan level players that are playing in that liga, and Peter Kotilainen from Finland is going to play in Nuffle. So, if I would be totally honest, this league, when it comes to the level of the game that the teams are playing in there, that would go higher in this list. But you are just because this is not a normal league that goes through the whole calendar year. This lasts only for the summer, from like is it from June to August or something like that, like 10 weeks or so. So I would like to put this league a little higher on the list, but I just can't do it. I just can't do it. So Nuffle, please make this a full year product. Right after you have made it a full year product, then I can rank you guys higher. But there are many good players from these top floorball countries, and as there is lots of talent from the foreign players. The American players are getting better from their own technical and basic abilities, and thus because there is so much talent within that series or league, uh, there is not that much of unforced errors. But I cannot fully put this into the same spectrum as the other clubs in the list. So, IFL in the ninth position, This is a really, really intriguing league because this is I think among the first combined leagues between other countries, and IFL. This is a growing product, and I really honestly think that more of these combined leagues should appear. You know, more of these smaller football countries should start to combine their forces and play in these sort of leagues. So, in Three Nations IFL, there are teams from Austria, Hungary, and Slovenia. There are 12 teams, and from these teams, if I remember it correctly, Hungary and three from Slovenia. And the rankings in this league are going at the moment in a way that Slovenian Skopje Loka is leading, Wiener from Austria is in the second place, and VSV Unihockey from Austria is in the third place. And this is a cool league. I really wish all the best to the teams in the league. I have watched plenty of these games, and these Slovenian ones. I think these would very much be able to play in Finnish first division, not in the league though, but in the first division. But then in this league, why that is only in the ninth position? The level starts to drop after the top three teams, and it is really hard to assess that what level in Finland would be comparable to the bottom of this league. But this is a new product. I think that because the players are getting a chance to play against the best of each of these three nations, they will get better in a very fast pace. So, a very cool idea. Please, IFF, if you hear this, put this idea and print it across the whole world. Marvelous idea. And in the 10th place, I have put the Select Ligaen from Denmark. Why this is in the 10th place? All the Danish people, if you are mad to me for putting you guys into the 10th position, please show me more stuff. Prove me that you are in a better place than the 10th ranking. Send me video clips, send me some links to your games, and I'll watch the games. But it has been quite hard to get any info from this league. The best players have been leaking throughout the history to Swedish highest and second highest levels. Although there are many of these basic skills required to play good floorball, there is nothing too flashy or fancy seen in these games that I have been watching from this league. This league does not attract much players from abroad, from different countries. And the IFF ranking also justifies this placing on this video because the Danes are in the ninth position in the ranking. But hey, this is my second YouTube video, and now you could see my face also in this video. Please, if you like the video, subscribe to the channel and like the video and share it to all your mates if this was a good one. And if you disagree with me,